You ready, Greg? Ready? Let's see how good the range is here. Yes. Oh. Yeah. Perfect. So I told my friends I was going to go on a bike trip to DC, and they said, I wasn't where you had a motorcycle. Do you have leather pants? Leather chaps? And I said, no, I wear padded pants and a helmet. And they said, well, why would you want to do that? And I said, well, for two reasons. First of all, the excitement level was amazing, but there's another good chance you're going to come back in a body bag. The second reason is because even though I embrace technology, I'm so impressed what we can do without technology. So the fact that we can just get on a bike and just go somewhere like this is just amazing to me. Here is a little bit of a map, just to give you an idea of the trip. Everything outlined is where we stayed. So it's 5 days, 4 nights. I actually did it twice. Once with Doris Short, the beautiful Doris Short. And once again, Tristan with Eric Fisher. Now, Eric didn't make it back alive. What to pack? Unless you're Mariah Carey, you don't need to bring like a trailer full of shoes. The most important thing is padded pants and maybe 1 or 2 changes of clothes. You get used to recycling clothes. And it's not about what's the most clean, it's what's the least dirty. That's what you're going to wear. You're going to see I have this corny carnival circus event theme drop the presentation. But the big difference is between the 2 trips is they opened this missing link. So I was able to ride from my front door this last time all the way to DC because of Sandcastle. There was the 0.8 miles that they needed to complete. How many here knew the difference between a press valve and a Schrader valve? Okay, well, I feel stupid this morning. I found it the hard way. Luckily, I did have the right inner tube. I went flat, and I said, these aren't working for whatever reason, so always pack extra gear. That's your safety net. So after a night in Ohio, we ventured off to Rockwood, Maryland, Rockwood, Pennsylvania. And we came upon this really cool tunnel. It's closed. It made me want to go in there, made me think of like what could be in there, something mysterious. But we couldn't go in, so this highlighted route, you have to go around the tunnel. Then you cross the Salisbury Viaduct, I think some of you might be familiar with, and it feels like you're flying crap East Coast. You're so high up in the air. And there's a very, very minimal railing, so you really feel so free. It's a very long stretch. And it's just amazing when you see it for the first time. And this is right outside of Myerston. Of course, every time you're up there, it's going to rain. You can't expect to take a 5-day bike ride and have no rain. It's going to happen.
I will never do it again.
But you have to deal with it. You got to find your way to have fun. So you can see we look happy here, but we really weren't. It's made for a good picture, though. One of the most important stops on the trip, because it's all downhill from here, and you feel like you're being shot out of a cannon whenever you go downhill. It's only a 2% grade. But after biking uphill for several hours, it feels so good to come down into Cumberland. This is one of these stops. We're right by this windmill farm, and our back is to the farm. But you have this amazing view of Cumberland, so you know you're close, because that is the next hotel. There's a nice Holiday Inn down there. And you can actually see it out in the distance, because when you get to Cumberland, you can look up and see the windmills. One of the highlights here, this was a very important missing link on the trail. You can see here, what it looked like before, when there was a train tunnel, and the amount of work they had to do to it. And it's a very long, narrow, but it isn't lit up inside. This is the point in Cumberland, mile 0. I call it the point of no return. You got to make up your mind now if you want to continue on, because if you have friends and you want to call them, they're not going to come any farther than Cumberland, because it's only a 2-hour ride from Pittsburgh by car. So if you want to keep going, you got to make up your mind now, because no one's going to come and get you past Cumberland. Day 3, we start the C&O Canal Trail. You find out right away it's a much different surface. This quote was taken off the Allegheny Passage website, and they were being very polite. It is freaky. I mean, you get ruts, you get mud on you. Doris looking very comfortable on her log house. The lock houses are beautiful, by the way. You learn so much about history and the history of transportation by these lock houses. Some of them are dried up. The canal was dried up in several spots. This one actually has water in it. But there was actually probably about 20-some lock houses. If you've seen one, you see them all now. The Pawpaw Tunnel, it looks like it should be condemned. It doesn't look any better than the tunnel that was condemned I showed you earlier. But it is like walking a tightrope because you have about a 2-foot space. And it's bumpy and you can't see the floor. It's very dark inside. Then when you think you're done at the end of the day, all you want is a nice shower and hotel room, you find out you have to carry your bike about 100 steps to get to the next hotel. I wasn't too happy about that. My legs were about shot, and then you find out you have to do this. But we had a nice comfort in the economy lodge. Day 5, we made it. And if you see this photo, you can see DC is a very bicycle-friendly town. I mean, look at these lanes. That's wider than the Parkway West. And this is for bikes. This is for bikes. They have it made. And then what happened? When you're down there, the pirates were in town. This keeps getting better. So we limped our way over to the pirate game, and they beat the Nationals, by the way. So, what a way to wrap up. And when I told people there that I biked, they said, "What kind of motorcycle do you have?" So I'm going to leave you with these final thoughts. Thank Angela and you. And I'm going to take this to Doris Shore and Derek Fisher, who encouraged me to present. Thank you.
This is a new part of our program this evening. We have a question and answer.
The question was, did we bike back? No. The first trip was somewhat of an organized trip. We took a chartered bus back. The second time I went, I discovered there was another trail called the Mount Vernon Trail that goes past Reagan Airport. And of course, what can you find at airports? Rental cars. So, perfect.